Hey guys, welcome to yet another tier list video. Of course, another Walking Dead one, as you can see, and this time, Season 7. Kind of the worst season, but another season all the same, you know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of characters this season, and I think after this one, they really start cutting the crust off, you know, getting rid of some of these minor characters, but right now, this season and next season are kind of the same deal. There's some differences, you know, some deaths, new characters, etc. But for the most part, probably going to be around the same deal. But let's go ahead and get started with the basic shit, the ones we already know. Daryl, true survivor. Even though a lot of these guys go through a lot of mental stress this season, you know, they're probably not on their A game. They still know how to survive, you know, they don't really lose any of their skills or abilities. So even though Rick is in a really deep depression, he's still a true survivor. So is Michonne and Carol. Even though Carol this season takes a backseat for the most part, she doesn't really do anything. And she kind of is surviving on her own, but kind of cheaply because people keep bringing her shit. She's not really hunting too much on her own, but she might be. I think she's like picking pecans or whatever. She's still gonna go right here. Morgan, he's for the most part still peaceful, but he can kill people. He's kind of indecisive. And around the end of it, he kind of does go batshit crazy again. So I'm going to stick him at the end of True Survivor for now. And then you got Maggie. I think now that Glenn is dead, you know, that kind of pole vaults her into True Survivor because now she takes on a leader role. You know, she's the leader of the Hilltop. She's a big player in the game. Farmer, as usual. You know, she is a good fighter. I think for the most part, she is a true survivor. And if Morgan was a little less crazy, he might be above her. But her farming skills are also, you know, very useful in the apocalypse. So I think Carol's a better fucking killer. But Maggie, all around at this point, has some good skill sets. She's better than Michonne. Michonne can definitely survive. I think Michonne at this point, she's still going to be right here. Alright, still top 3. She's smart, you know, very good at tactics and shit. She's not good at shooting guns, which is kind of bad, but melee damage all the way, am I right? She fucking wipes the floor with zombies. Zombies don't even stand a chance to her, so her only real threat is humans. And still, then she's gonna kick some ass. I think Michonne is still like the most capable out of these 3 females right here, as far as you know, combat-wise, hand-to-hand combat-wise. Let's see, Rosita's still useful. She this is the season she gets to show off her bomb skills, you know, which I guess is useful. She knows a lot of weird military experience shit from other people she's learned, you know, over the years. So she's got some useful skills, I would say. Eugene is full bullet making mode at this point. Halfway through the season, he starts making bullets, but he does do it. Very useful. Still not the best at like fighting and shit, but that bullet making skill is gonna fucking carry this dude. Probably the top tier useful. Just his brains, man. His fucking brains. Full knowledge skill set. And then, let's see. Well, Carl. Season 7 Carl. I mean, he breaks into the Savior compound. Does kill some Saviors. But he's just lucky that Negan, you know, has a soft spot for kids. Otherwise, he would have been fucking dead. But, I mean, I guess he's got good aim. You know, he's brave, so that's something. Average. Tara is also average, but the question is Carl better than her? What does Tara do? I mean, Tara only really does like, she's in like 2 episodes this season, I think. That whole, like, she's in the shittiest episode of the whole show, minus maybe the fucking Carol Rat episode in season 11 or 10 or whatever. But she's only in that one episode with Heath where they find Oceanside, and then at some point, I guess she's the reason Oceanside teams up, but that doesn't really go with her skill set or anything. She just got lucky she found him. I guess she made it all the way back. I don't know how far they were out, but she made it all the way back to Alexandria on her own. Tara's average. Sorry, but I think the thing that Carl did at the Sanctuary showed a lot more, you know, purpose and some good development, rather than Tara hasn't really done shit for the past 3 or 4 seasons she's been on. And Sasha's a sniper. As always, you know, that's the main thing with Sasha. Good fighter. She's a little suicidal. I always say that Sasha and Rosita are like on the same level. And it really shows this season when they team up. I think even they say that they're kind of the same. I say Rosita actually probably has more skills, but Sasha's one skill is very good. So I'm going to put Sasha right there. Gabriel gets a little bit better this season. Last season, he saved Rick's baby, and he's more trustworthy. He knows how to kill people with a rifle. You know, he's a decent rifleman. Season 7, Gabriel doesn't do much except, I mean, he told Negan that he buried Maggie. You know, he was on that shit. You know, he saved Rick at that moment. I wouldn't call him quite useful yet, but he's average guy. Enid is actually useful just because of that one scene in season 6, man. That one scene where she's surviving off of turtles in the wilderness. I mean, that is a survivor trait, which is probably one of the most useful things in the apocalypse, just pure surviving. So that's going to carry her useful. We're at the Alexandrians this season. So Spencer, or fuck, that's not Aaron. Yeah, Aaron. He is, I would say, very useful because, you know, he's still doing runs and shit. He is one of the main runners. Definitely not better than Eugene at this point because Eugene has that one skill. I think he's very useful. And I know runners, you know, Rosita could probably run too, but every time you see her do runs, she's with somebody. Aaron, you know, from the start was doing this shit by himself. So that earns him a good spot up here. He knows how to get around in the world pretty good. Olivia, she got shot in the fucking face. I mean, I'm not gonna hold that against her. What she's supposed to do, dodge it, but she's still dead weight, sorry. Tobin, almost decent. I mean, he doesn't really change too much over the seasons that he's in. He's just another guy. Probably better than Eric. Eric, literally, I can't tell you a single thing Eric does in all of the seasons except for season 8 where he dies. Definitely not as good as his boyfriend, Aaron, but he's probably gonna be like bottom tier, almost decent. We know he can shoot a gun next season, so. Spencer, say what you will, Spencer does have some balls. I mean, he did do that whole thing where he was climbing over the zombie horde in season 6 with like a zip line by himself. I don't remember if that was just so he could escape or if he was going to try and help everybody, but I mean, he was doing some shit. And then this season is unfortunately his last season. He gets gutted by Negan, but contrary to what Negan says, I'd say Spencer does have some guts, at least a little bit. I might have to put him above Gabriel at this point. I like Gabriel more, but this isn't a list on what I like more, alright? I don't really like, to be honest, Daryl is cool in all the first few seasons, but season 7, Daryl's kind of shitty. I get it, you know, he's going through some shit, but Daryl's not that great of a character. All he ever does is grunt. You barely even understand what he's saying, but he's still top fucking survivor, you know, true survivor. Heath, he's only in one episode. I would call him useful, but he was doing our run, and during his run, he got split up or something by Tara, and Tara was the one that came back, and Heath, you know, if Tara's better than you, sorry, but I think I did put him useful last time, but he's gonna have to go down here. He's below Tara. Sorry, Heath. Scott, I feel like Scott and Heath are almost on the same level here because they were going on runs together, and I feel like Scott is probably a lot more trustworthy and someone you'd rather have on your team than Spencer. That's good. Scott goes right there. Next up, we got the Hilltop Gang. Only 3 characters from Hilltop. You got Jesus, who is, I would say, a true survivor. Probably more so than Morgan at this point. Which, we do see Morgan actually survive on his own, which is probably a better feat than anything we've seen Jesus do, but Jesus is a master martial artist and escape artist. Very sneaky, got into the Savior compound without being noticed. All that shit, you know. He took on Rick and Daryl at the same time. True survivor. And he goes on runs by himself, too. Next up, we got Dr. Carlson. He's a doctor. I mean, his doctor skill is the only skill he has. Just because we don't see him actually do anything. He's just a doctor. I think I put the doctor skill at least average before. So he's about good or as good or a little bit better than Denise, I would say. Right here, maybe. And then Gregory is dead weight. Bottom tier dead weight. Doesn't do anything. I mean, he was a leader, which is, as I said before, a good skill to have, but it's not so much a good skill when your own people try to fucking stab you. Not a good survivor at all. Alright, we'll do the Kingdom next. We get characters like Ezekiel, who I would say is useful, even though he's a showman, alright? But he's a way better leader than Gregory, you know? None of Ezekiel's dudes are actually going to stab him. He's a good leader, and he's got a tiger, alright? The tiger's going to carry him. He's got a fucking tiger, and I don't understand, you know, at the end of the season, he uses the tiger to kill a bunch of saviors. My question is, how does the tiger tell what is a savior and what is just another person in Alexandria? But I mean, he can control it, I guess. Ezekiel himself isn't that great of a survivor. Because of that, I'll put him right here. Tiger's really good. Jerry, we don't really see it too much this season. He's just comic relief this season. But he's got the same skill set as season 8, I would say. He might be higher in season 8. I'll put him average, honestly, because He knows how to use a fucking battle axe. He cut somebody in half. Even though that is season 8, it's pretty good. I'll put him below the doctor. Dr. Skill is still better. Not Henry, Henry's brother. Benjamin, he's got the stick art. Now, stick art is pretty good. Good melee damage. That's all he is, though. I don't think he really knows how to survive. So I'm gonna put him top tier, almost decent right now. It's actually wild now thinking about it that Carl and Benjamin, or even Henry, never had like screen time together. Probably would have been good friends, to be honest. They're about the same age. Man, that being said, Carl's better at shooting. Benjamin is better at stick fighting. So I'm just gonna keep Benjamin right here. And then of course his brother, little Benjamin, he's gonna go down here. Gregory's worse than him because Gregory doesn't even try to kill a zombie. Or he tries. He does try to kill a zombie. He fails miserably. This is Richard's premiere and only season. I actually really liked Richard, if only it wasn't for the fact that he tried to kill Carol and got Benjamin killed. Well, he was trying to kill himself, alright. He planned shit out. You know, he's good at planning. I'll put him up here. He's probably better than Gabriel. Yeah, he's probably going to be better than Jerry, too. He's more of like Ezekiel's general type guy. I'll put him under these guys, because these guys go out on runs. Even though I bet you he wouldn't have a problem going out on runs. I think he's better than Tara. Probably better than Carl, too. I'm going to put him right here. Diane, she's a bow girl. She's actually pretty good, too. Honestly, she's debatably better than Richard because the bow skill is always a really nice skill to have. You know, quiet, you can hunt with it. No one's going to hear it if you fucking start killing people. She might be better than Richard, to be honest. She might be useful, actually. I mean, I'd say she's better than... Honestly, I think she's going to go right here. She's a very minor character, but her skills are very useful. Probably the most useful out of anybody in the kingdom at this point. Yeah, she's going to have to go right here. And I think that does it for all the kingdom characters. We'll go ahead and get these two out the way. These random group characters like Jadis, I'm going to have her up for like all the garbage people because I don't think any of them get names except for the one chick that looks like Diane's sister, Tamiel. But we don't see shit from her, so I'm not even going to put her on this list. I mean, you got to give her credit. She's surviving in a dumpster or, you know, landfill, garbage. It's amazing. They all probably have tetanus. I mean, we learn later on that she's like living in some kind of clean ass box. It's all just like a kind of an act. It sucks, man, but I'm going to put Jadis, like, down here. You know, probably better than Enid for sure. She's actually surviving out there for who knows how long. But she's on the same leadership skill as Ezekiel. If we just knew how she was surviving on that landfill, I'd probably put her higher. You know, if she's actually, like, rummaging through the garbage, eating that shit. Because, I mean, that takes some kind of talent. But we don't see how they're surviving, so it's hard to rank them on that. So yeah, useful. And then this chick, Cindy, only Oceanside character I got because she's the main one. I know there's the other one with the like the harpoon or whatever. I think she can use a harpoon too. Hey, I mean, they know how to fish. I'll put her up here, I guess. I mean, they're surviving there somehow. I'm gonna put all the survival abilities of Oceanside on her, which pretty much consists of fishing, which I guess anyone could really do. They also know how to make Molotov cocktails, which also isn't very hard, but I'll put her right there. Alright, now we got the saviors. So we're gonna start off with Simon. Last time I put him in average. I'll put him, yeah, about here. Better than Carl, for sure. He's just slimy, you know, scummy dude, but he does know tactics. He knows how to problem solve. He's got some charisma, but damn it, dude, if he was not as scummy and slimy, and you could actually rely on him, and he wasn't just a fucking liability, like, he murders the fuck out of people, which, you know, savage, you know, he is surviving, but it's just kind of a little schizo, you know? This guy, he's a shitty fucking character, and I just hate the character, you know, but you're supposed to hate him, that's the whole point. And he does know how to shoot a gun, and he's a savior. He's one of the combat saviors, so he does know somewhat how to fight, even though he's probably like the weakest savior on the team. So I'm going to put him right here. Dead and almost decent. And then Sherry doesn't do shit this season except like fucking bangs Negan. I mean, she goes off on her own, and I guess spoilers for any other Walking Dead show, maybe Fear the Walking Dead. I'm pretty sure she comes back, so she does know how to survive, I guess. But I'm not going to rely on that too heavily, because we don't see that. But she is sneaky. I'll put her right there. Mid, almost decent. And then we got Laura, one of the top combat saviors. I'm going to have to probably put her above Carl. And in this aspect, since we don't really see too much else other than them just being saviors, hierarchy is going to come into play. You know, who is the leaders? and I'm pretty sure he's higher ranked than her. She's more reliable, I would say. She's a lot more level-headed. So just because of that, I think I am going to put her above Simon, actually, because she's more reasonable. You know, she can think more clearly than this guy that just wants to fucking kill. And then Arat, however the fuck you say your name, I don't know. Terra backwards. I guess she'd be Evil Terra. Evil Terra is going to be around the same level as Terra. I'd put her lower because she's evil. Okay, and then Gavin. He's one of the most level-headed saviors and more reasonable. If Gavin was in charge, then things probably would have went a whole lot differently with the saviors. And he's also a leader hierarchy advantage. He's probably going to go right here above Laura. And then Dwight. Dwight has some of the hardest, you know, jobs going on this whole season. And he's the main reason why all of our fucking, him and Eugene in the end are kind of the reasons why our beloved characters survive. But he's also a bowman. His bow skills. Now, there was a quote that he said back in season 6 where he said to Daryl that nurse girl, right? I forgot her name already. That was not the one he was aiming for. So I don't know if that's true or not. Who knows? If that is true, then his accuracy isn't the greatest, which makes Diane better. But if that was a lie, you know, which I could see because he, you know, Daryl saved him before. Maybe you don't want to kill Daryl. Then maybe he does have like really good accuracy. So that's up for debate. But considering he's got a bigger role and he's doing a lot more like sophisticated big brain shit, I'm going to have to put him above Diane. And then of course, the big man himself, Negan. Where do I put Negan? Negan is the big boss of the Saviors, alright? He's got the intimidation factor. He's really smart. He's playing usually like 2 or 3 steps ahead of everyone else. I mean, gotta give it to him. He's got some good upper body strength to be smashing all those skulls with that bat. He's not really exhausted by it. I feel like that gotta be pretty hard. After the way he fucking wails on him. He's gotta be out of breath, but nah, man, he's got that stamina, so. Okay, he's definitely gonna be at least above Rosita and Sasha. Above Aaron too, I would say. We don't really, well, Negan doesn't go on runs, okay? And there is a point in season 8 where he is on his own, you know, and he gets out of it. But this is season 7, boys. Okay, we gotta really think of the moment here. Season 8's different, even though it's all like within the same span of like 2 weeks or something. Eugene is, man, I would say Eugene is more useful. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna get a lot of backlash for this. But even though his survival skills, which aren't that great, even though, I mean, he's smart, he can probably figure out a way to survive. And he's making bullets, which is a huge fucking advantage. The only reason why Negan isn't true survivor is because at this point, season 7, we don't see a lot of his skills. Here's a fact. In season 9, we do see Negan go out on his own, you know, and he doesn't last too long. He drinks fucking river water and ends up puking his guts up and then just coming right back to the community because he doesn't know how to survive out there. So that for a fact, you know, is not a survivor trait, you know. Everyone else up here, minus maybe Jesus, but I'm pretty sure he could too. We've seen them survive on their own, at least close to being by themselves. For that one thing, that one fact, Negan will have to stay right here. He'll probably raise the ranks, you'll see. For now, Eugene and then Negan. But yeah, this is season 7, my least favorite season of the whole show, but it'll start to ramp up. You know, season 8 is kind of similar, but there's some key differences. And then after that, season 9, one of the best seasons, and then we'll be close to finishing this show, boys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this one takes a lot better than the last few did. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a nasty night. I'll see you next time, boys. Peace.